Hey guys, welcome back to Master Gaming Studios. I'm Craig, and today we're going to go over all of the new Tyranid models that were revealed on Saturday. If you guys don't know, or totally missed it, they did the live stream. Tyranids won the reveal show, so we got to see all of our new models in this second wave. That'll be going out when the Codex comes out. Now, I did a live stream on this, so if you want to follow my live reactions to everything, you can check out the live stream that was done on Saturday. I'll try and put a link somewhere here for it. Otherwise, if you want a more condensed version, plus stay tuned to the end, we are doing something special for the channel, which all of you could potentially be a part of. That is going to be done in this video, and I'm going to break down also how much I think each kit is going to cost, and maybe talk about the sizes of these models, and just give myself some time to decompress after the high of how awesome these models were, and now we're going to actually analyze them. So that all sounds good. Do like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our content here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios. Thank you, members. Do consider becoming a member. And now, with all the way, let's dive into today's video. So the first one I just want to give a recap on. We've seen this one. I did our own little video on it. That is Death Leaper. He saw a major glow up. Still one of my favorite models GW's released this year. I think he just looks awesome. Despite the weird cape thing, I think it still looks cool. And in the live stream, they did announce that there will be a new detachment in the Tyranid Codex, and Death Leaper in this detachment can be your Warlord. He can't normally. So that kind of suits his HQ presence he's been given here. So I really like it, but we're not going to talk too long on it because I already did. So we'll get into the real ones. The first one, and these aren't in any particular order, but we're starting with Gene Stealers. They saw a beautiful new redesign. They kept the classic look of the old ones, and they kept a similar dynamic pose, the general feel. Everything is still the old kit, but now it is into the new one. This new one, they're bigger. They have 32mm bases. They have much more defined carapace instead of the kind of pseudo carapace Gene Stealers had on their back. Now it's much more, this is the carapace that they're working with. Again, you have some tactical rocks in there to help with that dynamic posing. One of them's leaping over a pipe. That one will, maybe that one can be one you can swap out and put something else there, but overall I do really like the pose, and I'm happy to see them doing well or looking great here. Now that there are packs of 10, you just need one of these and you have a full unit, unlike the weird 8s. So great on the Gene Stealers. We then had new Horrigons. So Horrigons was something that we all anticipated as well. These ones, I think they look great as well. A much needed facelift. They are, again, much more dynamic. They're not very thin, narrow rectangles. They've got some curvature to their tails. They're not all the same pose. You got some leaping. You've got some running full speed. You've got some pouncing, jump, all of them. They look great. I can't really complain. You also get a Ripper with them, so that's cool. I still think some of them will be likely to fall over a little bit, especially some of these leaping ones. However, a little bit of putty and stuff will keep them on there, and they still should stay much more balanced considering the other ones, and they won't always just rest on their faces like the old guy. So happy to see Horrigons getting a new kit. Very happy to see it. Then we got Termagons, and yes, we've already had new Termagons, but this is a now multi-part plastic kit, not just the standard monopose that the Termagons we saw are. Termagons getting all their weapons back, and I mean all of them back. So they're getting their flesh borers, or well, they're getting their flesh borers, as you've already seen. They're getting their devourers, and they're bringing back special weapons on top of a new one that we sort of seen before. So these are again on 28mm bases, pack of 10 with the Rippers. But in addition to this, you get the Flesh Boar Devourer. They said Spine Fist. We have not seen a model for the Spine Fist, but they did say Spine Fist were in here. You also get the Spike Rifle. Those of you who played since 5th edition and before know the Spike Rifle was a weapon. It looks like they've tweaked it. It's not something the whole unit can take. Just looks like one of them can take a Spike Rifle. So maybe some cool anti-elite infantry damage 2 shot, something, I don't know. Be cool. We have a Strangleweb, which is our flamethrower, which will be cool to see these things in action. It's probably not going to be great in terms of damage, but maybe there's a little anti-infantry or something. I don't know. We also have the Shard Launcher, which is the gun that the Barbgons tank. So it's interesting that the Termagon can take one. Now, he will be... I mean, it's a Termagon body. My guess is that it is the exact same profile. However, it will not have the Barbgaunt special rule of the -2 to infantry thing. It'll just be a D6 Strength 5 AP0 blast shot. But still, I can't complain. I think it's really cool to have these options. And if GW are going the way where the unit costs what the unit costs, no matter the stuff inside of it, you're probably going to want maybe a spike rifle, a shard launcher, a strangleweb in all of them. The only big difference will be flesh borers, devours, or spine fist. But we have options now, so I'm very happy to see this. So the first new unit that was shown off for the Tyranids in this reveal was the Neural Lichter. Now this is kind of like a Lichter. It looks a little like a Ravener as well, and it's got a brain. So it's some psychic assassin type thing where it's going to have some sort of psychic powers. It's got some level of stealth to it, they mentioned, and it has some interaction with Battle Shock, where they say a Lichter is designed to pinpoint, take out small squads, like a 5-man intercessor squad it can take out. This thing is targeted on very specific characters that it hunts down and kills. Maybe it'll have some special rules for killing characters, kind of like Lichters or Death Leaper used to, but a cool model nonetheless. It's got some, it's got talons like the Parasite it reminds me of, and it's got claws kind of like an old Gene Stealer or even the Death Leaper itself. It also does have a weird tail or head tail thing, but at least it also has a normal tail. But yeah, interesting to see what it does. We really don't know much besides this. It does look cool. Maybe not my favorite thing, but I'll definitely be picking one up to play around with it on the battlefield nonetheless. Speaking of Lichters, we had new Lichters revealed. Now this is an interesting kit. We don't know all the details. They didn't tell us everything, but it is some sort of multi-part plastic kit. Is it going to be you get 2 in the box and you can build 2, or is you get 1 Lichter and it just has a ton of options to it? We don't know, but as you can see here, we've got the Leviathan one and we've got the Behemoth one. And the Behemoth one has a different head, different pose, different everything than the Leviathan one. So they didn't say specifically if it's one model with multiple options or you get 2 models out of it. It looks like you almost could get 2 models out of this, except for the body. So maybe it's going to be one of those instances where you need 2 bodies or something. Maybe people will come up with 3D print for a second body. Don't know. But it looks really cool. And I think the standard Lichter, specifically the Leviathan pose, just looks awesome. It is just, I love it. I love it so much. It's clean. It's gribbly. It looks like the old Lichter, just bigger, badder, brought up to date, exactly what I was hoping a Lichter would look like. They mentioned this thing is going to be on a bigger base, so I'm thinking it's probably a 50mm base, not a 40mm that the current Lichter is on. So if you have Lichters and you're not going to get one of these, probably going to have to bring them up to 50mm if you want to technically be accurate, whatever. But I do like them, and I will probably, even though I have 3 Lichters, I'll probably be picking up at least 1 or 2 of the new ones, just so I have those pose options and the Death Leaper along with it. Now things get wild. Things get really wild here. So we all suspected Biovore and Pyrovore kits were going to be coming out. We did not expect this at all. This is the new Biovore, and it is just bonkers different. So we can see an old Biovore. We can see the most recent Biovore, and now we have this one. This is not just some little thing that sits at the back and launches off spore mines. This is a tank. This thing is a small mobile crab tank, and I love it. I love every aspect of it. The gun looks insane. It's got to be big for shooting off spore mines, but man, that's like a Tyranid rail gun, it looks like. Much more armored, and it's hard to tell the base size of this. Now, I have a slide later, and we kind of dive into what I think the base size is. But it is clearly bigger than the old Biovore kit, that's for sure. And I'm guessing the way they've been showing us off, it still comes as one box, gets you one Biovore / Pyrovore. I'm wondering if they're going to revamp the datasheet for the Biovore, because that just doesn't look like the stats of what the Biovore we know and use right now is. That thing is way more armored than the Biovore. It looks mean. So maybe we'll see a revamped stat, and even more so when we go to the Pyrovore. Same kit, but slightly different gun, and it's got this cool back crest, I guess we can call it that. I love it. I like the Pyrovore. The current Pyrovore, I like. I have 4 of them. I had nothing really wrong with that Pyrovore. I just wanted it to be a little bit, maybe just brought up to date a little bit. But then I see this one, and I'm in love with this new one. It's a shame. I have a bunch of the little old ones, the little metal ones. They're not little, but because I'm going to have to need these ones, and these ones look great. So, great. Again, that gun does not resemble a D6 strength 6 AP -1 1 damage flamer. That gun on the new model resembles what the old flamer was in 9th edition. So, and it's much more armored, 2-up save, and I could see 4 wounds, but maybe 5 or 6 on this new thing. So we'll see. I'd love to see a 360 view, and I'd love to see if they revamp the datasheet to make these things much more of a threat than just a little 30-point fill-in unit. Though I do really love the tactical use of a 30-point fill-in unit. Something like this just feels like it's got to be more than that. So then we'll see. But I like it. And now, talking size comparison, this is the only shot we were given where we could sort of compare the size of these things. It's standing right next to a Neurogaunt, so we can suspect, doing a little bit of measuring, it is about 4 Neurogaunts wide. That is essentially what I'm calling it. About 4 Neurogaunts. Neurogaunt is a 25mm base. However, I don't think it's going to be the full 25. I think maybe just distortion and we can't see everything. Be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to call it, this is an 80mm base. So this thing is it's substantially bigger than the current one, both Pyrovore and Biovore base. So maybe it will just be one model to a unit and that's it. Maybe we can group them in units of 3, but who knows? Maybe it's going to be a single Pyrovore and it'll be like the cost of 2 of them and the output of 2 of them together. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think in the comments? Let me know. And finally, we have 2 of the big bugs that have been revealed. First, we have the Norn Assimilator. And this thing is they described it as a big bad wrecking ball. It's one of a 2-build multi-part plastic kit fitting with the Tyranids. This is definitely, of the 2, my least favorite. Honestly, parts of this model make it one of my least favorite that was revealed all weekend. However, a few quick tweaks, which I'll talk about, and I think I will love it. The main thing that this thing does, apparently, is it is designed to hunt down a key target. Not specifically like the next model we'll see, but let's say, the Hive Mind sends out a signal saying, we need to kill this Imperial Knight, or we need to take this objective, this stronghold, destroy this bunker, whatever. It creates this Norn Assimilator with the goal in mind, or with it's programmed in its mind, go after that target, kill that target, take that target, whatever. So that's what this thing apparently does. I don't quite get the name Assimilator, because you're not assimilating anything unless you are assimilating your target to the digestion pool. Maybe that's what it is. Hopefully it's got some cool rules where at the beginning of the game you pick a target and this thing gets buffs. Maybe you pick an objective and it gets a bunch of buffs towards that objective, or you pick a unit and it gets like rerolls against that specific unit in range and melee. I think it's going to have some range attack. Obviously it's got some flesh hooks, so maybe it'll have a prevent from fall back. Maybe it'll have a reroll charge against it if you hit with the flesh hooks. It's got, as we can see in this lower picture, these 2 they call them toxin harpoon injectors, or harpoon toxic injectors, something like that. So I'm wondering if that's some sort of ranged attack where they can, shoot out these big harpoons on them. And yeah, it looks solid. It's a 100mm base. They did tell us that, and they said it's not as big as a knight, but it can take on a knight. That's pretty good. We did a size comparison on stream with some of the pictures they showed, and this will likely be the size of a Trigon. Maybe its little plumes or spires are a bit taller than a Trigon, but roughly the size of a Trigon or a Greater Demon without the wings, or the Silent King. That size creature is what this thing is going to be. So will it be a Lord of War where you can only take one of these? Or not, a unique thing where you can only take one? My gut says this one we can take multiple of if we want to, and then the other version of the kit you'll see is probably limited to one per army. That's my gut. But the two things I don't like, I will mention those because I think it's weird. I don't like the flesh hooks sticking out of it. And also, these weird little nub arms right here. You can't really see my mouse going, but these little nub arms right here, I'll maybe put some arrows in to point them out. They don't make any sense to me. What are those? Why are they there? Are they supposed to be there? What are they doing for it? They don't make any sense. So I personally will leave those off, and I think the thing will look a lot better. The base is really cool. I probably will also take the base off of mine just because it's a little bit much for my liking. So maybe I'll leave it on one and take it off another, not sure. But that's the Norn Assimilator. In my opinion, the much cooler variant is the Norn Emissary. This is like a super Hive Tyrant. I think this is what people were rumored to be the Apex Swarmlord. I'm guessing is because it is a Hive Tyrant essentially, but it's its own special thing. It also designed to hunt down key units. Specifically, this thing targets like leaders, so it'll be designed to be a giant assassin. So think of a Hive Tyrant with the mind of a Lichter and a couple Zoanthropes in there because it's got insane psychic potential. So we'll see. Maybe again it's got rules, pick a leader, and it gets benefits against that specific unit for the game. It's got these massive sizing talents, which I think I like. They are a little goofy having that extra limb to them, but maybe with the right posing or something, I think they'll look pretty cool. Its claws, having these giant rending claws with an extra finger on them, look threatening. I don't know how much, they don't look that like damage threatening, but they look kind of cool and threatening. The head I think is my favorite. The head sells it for me. That head is so cool, and I love the big brain. I love the big brain. So they did say because of that, it's going to have significant offensive psychic powers. Maybe it's got the damage potential of like 3 Zoanthropes all by itself. That would be awesome. And they also said it would have unusual agility. I take that as it's going to be really fast for its size. So it's probably going to have a 10 to 12 inch move. Super fast, super powerful model. I am torn because I want this model so bad and I want to get it on the table and show you guys right away. But at the same time, I need to take my time with this model because I'm only going to have one of these Norn Emissaries. And I need to take my time painting it and make sure it looks really good. Every little bit, I'm going to probably pin all of the arms and paint all of them separately from the body. If I can do that to the head, I would do that to the head, but that looks like it might be a little difficult. Maybe not. Maybe it won't be. We'll have to see when we get the kit. Hopefully you can put that brain, you can turn that head so it goes either side, or it can go head on, because if it's stuck to constantly looking to the left, says left, that's his left. Yeah, I won't be a huge fan, but hopefully it's not that case. So I'm going to be ranking these based on a letter scale, the cost in US dollars, because that's what I know, and my reference for this cost, what unit GW already makes, that gives me that reference number. Also, I just want to note that these models are likely to be released in September. They said fall. All of my signs that I can find point towards these being pre-order the end of August or the first week in September, and then coming out in September. So early to mid-September is when I anticipate these things being released. Now let's go on to these grades. So Gene Stealers, they didn't mess them up. They look great. $60. It's going to be pricey. Well, we were at like 35 for 8. Now we're going to be 60 for 10. So it's a huge price increase. And I'm just basing that off of any 10-man squad that is for sale right now. Termagons, I'm going to say 60 bucks because that's what the Eldar Guardians are. And they come in multi-part plastics. So yeah, 60 bucks for the 10 of them is going to be pricey. Horrigons, they might drop Horrigons down to $55 because there's no customization to them besides just how you pose them with their arms. Might be like the Orc Boys in that regard, so maybe they're only 55. Lichters, I'm thinking $40. Again, Orcs have a lot of similar things with the Tyranids, so going off of that Pain Boss, the Neuralichter is the same way. The Pain Boss will have $40 for one of those. Death Leaper, I'm thinking is going to be $60. Going off of like the Squigosaur on Beast Boss, it's pretty equivalent to their size, I'm anticipating. So yeah, I would say 60 bucks for Death Leaper. The Biovore and Pyrovore kit, also anticipating them to be about 60 bucks each for one model. We will try on the channel to see if we can learn how to magnetize it nice and easy, because that's a kit you're going to want to magnetize. It's not probably too often you're going to have 2 or 3 of each on the battlefield. So at least for your first 2, you can magnetize them, and then maybe you buy 1 of each. This model, I'm basing it off of the Orc Tractor Cannons. And again, rankings for all these, A's, except for the Neuralichter, I give a B. Not my favorite, but I still think it's really cool. And finally, the Norn, Assimilator, and Emissary. The Assimilator, I'm giving it a B, mainly because those weird nub arms are holding it back. The Emissary, love it. These things are going to be probably 160 bucks. I'm basing that off of a Keeper of Secrets, which I think is going to be a very equivalent model in size, damage potential on the battlefield, maybe point cost, I don't know exactly. But Keeper of Secrets, $160. So if you're like me and you want all of this stuff, you're going to have to save up a lot of money. A lot of money. So be prepared. Be prepared. That's what's going to be happening. Now, finally, I did say one thing coming. We are doing a giveaway. We are doing a giveaway here. And this is what we're doing. So, we just passed 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, tuned in. I know there's a lot of new players popping in who are playing Tyranids because they're the launch box enemy. And I am thankful for all of you joining around. I have been very busy this July. July for me is the second busiest time of the year, second only to Christmas, really, when just so much family stuff going on. So because of that, I haven't been as on top of making videos and being in depth with the Tyranids and new 10th edition as I want to. That being said, July is coming to an end here soon. I will be, once August rolls around the corner, we'll be hitting the ground running. We'll be making more videos. When the Codex comes out, I'll have much more time to make even more videos. We will bring back our datasheet deep dives when the Codex comes out, and all sorts of new content. So thank you to everyone. With that saying, we hit 6,000 subscribers. I'm going to do a giveaway, and this is what we've got. So it'll happen when we hit 10,000 subscribers. That could be in a week. That could be in 4 months. It could happen at Christmas time. We grew 1,000 subscribers in like a month and a half. So if you guys love the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I would greatly appreciate everyone joining. So 10,000 subscribers. Once that happens, I will make a dedicated video launching the giveaway officially, and it will have the official rules in that video. Likely it'll be something like comment on this video, you'll have to be subscribed, like the video, all those basic things done on YouTube. One lucky subscriber to that video, or to my channel from that video, will be winning the Norn Assimilator / Emissary model. It is a big model, and we will be giving away one of these because it's finally a huge Titan. If we can get to 10,000 subscribers, that is amazing to go along with this amazing model that's being released. And where will it go? Anywhere I can really ship you a 40k model. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be a case of we have the model here and we ship it, or we do something else. Anyway, you will get yourself a true GW official Norn Emissary model for you to build up, because I think a lot of you out there probably just buy one of these to start. Maybe you'll be like me and buy both, but you'll buy one to start. You'll want to get a second one. You're going to want to have one of each of those models, so we'll do that. Again, all the official things will be in the dedicated video. This is not an official launch to the giveaway. We're just announcing that this is our goal to do the giveaway. Again, it could be 2 years when this happens. I hope it's not 2 years when we hit 10,000, but if it is, I will stand to my word and give out a Norn Emissary model 2 years from now, if that is the case. So that is all we got for today. Hopefully that didn't take too long. I want to again thank you all the subscribers. Thank you members especially. You are the ones who have kept this channel going, so I really appreciate all of us here. They're not here, but everyone who works on content here with me really appreciates the members. And yes, let's get into these Tyranids. I am looking forward to it. Like I said, I will be hitting the ground more so running when August rolls around. We're having more videos. YouTube is pumping out or wanting to pump the shorts content, so I'll be doing that, and we'll have some fun stuff going. But thank you guys, and we'll catch you next time here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios.